Look, memory can change the shape of a room, it can change the color of a car. And memories can be distorted. They're just an interpretation, they're not a record. And they're irrelevant if you have the facts.
Someone wants me. Someone roaming the streets wants me.
Your car's uglier than I am. That didn't come out right.
It is the Al Travis Show. We're always happy to have her on. She's Alysen Nesse. Alysen, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. Al, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing fine. I enjoy this weather so much. That's kind of my jam. It's shocking to me because I know I'm only 6 months older. But 6 months ago when we were going from warm to 50 degrees, it was like freezing out, and I didn't like it, and I didn't like the way it felt, and, all that. And now I'm looking at 50 degrees this week, and I'm jazzed up. I'm looking at you in a jacket with no sleeves on. You know what I'm saying? It's so different, the exact same temp on the other side of the world, on the other side of things.
Yeah, nope. It's just a puffy vest day, not a full jacket day.
See, you don't need a full jacket. That's nice. That's good stuff.
No.
Where are you with what's going to happen now? For folks who don't know, we're going to miss Alysen for a little while until I get things worked out here because she's going to go to work. You work up at the Capitol. You try to get things passed, not passed, things that you can get done.
Yeah.
What do you think gets done? 6 months ago, we would have been talking the Hoffman and Hortman shooting, the school shooting, and we were talking guns, right? This was going to get this thing. We were talking a special session is going to happen, and that didn't happen.
That was never going to happen.
Well, yeah, but don't tell me there wasn't talk about it. There's talk.
There was talk. There's a lot of talk.
A lot of talk. And then, of course, we had all the fraud, and still got the fraud. And then we have the ICE thing. All this is coming up on a bonding year. All this comes up at the same time that every human being that wants a vote wants your vote this year. What could possibly get done? I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, nothing big or controversial can get done, but I do think that there are opportunities where there's bipartisan support. There's a lot of members who are retiring after kind of the most senior members, so many of them. This is going to be their last session. So they might want to get like one priority that they have across the finish line.
Okay.
As long as it can be bipartisan and pass the House. And there are a few things that I can think of that will, but they're not sexy and exciting.
Well, okay, because that no one will have anything bad to say about it. But is this one of those seasons where you just try to get whatever you want into an omnibus bill of all this? Because I believe with all the things we just talked about, something has to get passed. It won't be anything dramatic. It'll be milquetoast at best. But that way somebody can say, well, I told you I'd pass, I'm going to use a gun thing. So I had to vote yes on the other things as well as all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to have some place to hide themselves. Is that a bad take?
No, I mean, that's also just how it works every year, too. So, but there's going to be people more willing to take votes, especially the ones who aren't coming back. They might be willing to take votes that they wouldn't take.
Okay.
But when I say like stuff can get done, I'm talking about like, IT infrastructure updates for the counties because frankly, but that's a way to address fraud because we have archaic IT systems in this state. So like things like that. No guns.
Are you listening to the show on the side? Are you listening to the show? Because actually Putnam and I were just talking about that.
Oh, I actually didn't.
He said straight up, he goes, the idea that we try to catch bad guys when we have computers from the 1980s that are using MS-DOS is ridiculous.
Exactly, but it's true. I mean, and that is bipartisan. Like that, and that needs to happen. And then I do think a bonding bill has the potential of happening because the infrastructure needs in every community are so big. So,
okay. Well, on that, I don't know if you saw the story because I'm kind of upset the story isn't a story. NPR came out and mentioned that that Optum group that's checking the CNR fraud thing came out and said that we could save $1.7 billion if we just followed our own rules and regulations, our own stuff. And the guy in charge of it, O'Connelly, something I don't have a story right in front of me, said basically that it isn't fraud. This is us following our own rules. And that's when Putnam got on and said, it's because we can't follow. This computer doesn't talk to that computer. Well, that was $1.7 billion, I think we'd save. Let's just do the Al thing. Let's take $1.7 billion. And I don't know what it costs to upgrade every computer in the state, but I mean, let's just get a mass buy, get a good deal from Best Buy. I don't care. and get it updated, because if it's going to save $1.7 billion a year, we'll make up for it in the long run. How is it with this? How are we doing 80s computers? How is that possible? We spend $77 billion a year in this every 2 years in the state. How do we not have computers? It makes no sense to me.
IT upgrades are the hardest thing to get funding for by any government, because no member likes to brag about that. Now, with so much of the fraud and attention, maybe this is finally going to get like some priority. But I will tell you, in my experience, it is the hardest thing to try to get money for, because it's not politically sexy, and it's expensive. And so they just haven't had the appetite to fund it. And that's under Republicans and Democrats.
Oh, no, I'm just saying there are things that we can argue over. Gun control, Second Amendment. The idea that we would not be able to get together and pay for computers today in today's society is off the charts for me.
Nope, I agree. I agree completely.
Right. So let's go down. What if you're going into this as a legislator? It would be a bonding bill, because everybody's seeing this stuff. I don't know if folks understand how we set this up. So it's a bonding year. Isn't it a wonderful time to send money out to everybody and say, guess what I brought back for my people as you're running for office? Is the bonding bill going to, will they even get a bonding bill done? Is this the sort of thing that everyone will, that's the one thing they will get done because they all want to run out and get votes? This, folks who don't know, everybody's running, right? Senators, the House, everybody's there, so everybody wants a little something, something.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so will it get done? Is it big? Yeah. I'm sorry.
I still have hope. No, I have hope that they'll do it. Bonding bills are always the last thing to come together, kind of the last few hours of session, it feels like. So we will see, but I do know we have 3 bonding chairs who all want to get a bill done. So that's good.
All right. And okay, well, that'll move things along. You see this as exciting or boring session? Because if nothing's really going to we're going to be bored out of our minds. You guys in the background, you'll be running like gerbils on a hamster wheel or whatever, right? But the rest of us will be bored.
Yeah, I don't think it will be boring, because I think there's going to be a lot of statements. There's going to be a lot of bills that are going to have a lot of people talking, but they're not going to be very, their feasibility to becoming law is pretty low.
Okay,
but
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Let me ask you on a bigger note, and because you've been around. Well, don't say that to a lady on the radio. You've been around. Dr. Jensen, we talked, the caucuses came out.
Yep.
There were obviously people that did better than other people in the caucus, and I said some people are going to weed out. Yep. So far, one on the governor's side, Dr. Jensen.
Yeah.
And I kind of know the guy. I'm not ripping him at all. You can do whatever you'd like. But how does the pivot work? All right, I'm not going to be your governor, but I sure want to be your auditor then. How does that play with folks? It seems weird. Is that a good word? That's a good word. It's a big word.
Yeah, it happens a lot when you say like, oh, this race is too crowded, I'm going to look. But it does, I think as voters or people, they're like, oh, you just want to be in office. You just want to be elected, don't you? And that's
the feel.
Yeah, that's the impact. So, and you can't deny that. Anybody who switches races because, it's like, yeah. So best of luck to former State Senator Jensen. I think he has proven time and time again, he is not electable statewide, though.
Well, again, it seems a little desperate, maybe is a word for it, but okay. He can do what he wants. I'm not ripping him, but it just seems strange. Does it seem strange to you, though, a week later, more haven't fallen out of that? I think there's 13 yet in there, and out of that, 7 were undecided on the Republican side?
It's strange to me. I don't know what their fundraising plan is between now and, the caucus or the convention, and then the primaries all the way till August. So that's a long 6 months to pay somebody to do your campaign. So I am surprised that more haven't dropped out, but we'll see.
Well, and if you just take money in general, the Democrats always outraise the Republicans by a lot. And then you divide that by 13, even if it isn't evenly divided, you can see that struggle just compounds itself as you get further and further down the road.
I'll be honest, this has been the Minnesota Republicans' problem, not just with their candidates, but with their parties too. The Minnesota GOP is so dispersed in its power. You have like 8 independent expenditures that like take money away from the party. And this has frankly been Minnesota Republicans' problem, from my opinion.
Oh no, you're not. You and I didn't talk about it. I talked about it. The difference between them is so stark.
Yeah.
You all waited to see if the governor would run for a 3rd term, which is generally not heard of as a thing. But, if he wants it, we're going to wait off. And then he gets in. Okay, so everybody kind of fills in the blanks where they're going to go. Then he says he's out. Well, now it's Senator Klobuchar's. If she wants it, let's just sit around and wait until she gets in. And everybody plays nice. Yeah. On the other side, on the Republican side, everybody and their brother Bob that had $200 or whatever the filing fee is got in. And be darned if they're going to get out. It is a different way of running a party. I can tell you which one's better currently because you guys haven't lost in 20 years.
It's more effective. Everybody wants to pretend like power structures should be different than they are. And it just is what it is, folks.
Well, I'm just being stark honest with you. Look at how it's working for us.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I think it was Putnam who said, well, it could be your ideas too. That kind of hurt me a little bit. But all right, we got to move. We're going to be back after this with more. I've got her. Alysen Nesse on the Al Travis Show.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist. You need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
We've got our Alysen Nesse on the program with us. Alysen, this is more of a personal feelings question. I was chatting earlier this week. Well, not about your personal life. Talking earlier this week from out here, out in the middle of no place. I'm 2 hours from the Twin Cities. we now hear more about the gal that was stolen out of Arizona, the kidnapped gal. Then we hear about the bad weather. It seems as if things are calming down in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Only the last story I read, I'll say this in front of a young lady, evidently they're putting male genitalia on ice cars. So, I mean, that was the last story. Is it calmer? Is it better? Has the temperature gone down, I guess is my question. Up in your neck of the woods.
I would say that the tactics that ICE is using are less visible and they're quicker. So they're still stopping people. And like in Hopkins yesterday, for example, a man was stopped. He was handing over his passport. They grabbed him and they put him in the back of the car and they whisked him off to the Whipple building. So it's still happening, detaining people without proper, authority.
But I'm not seeing protests. I don't want to kick starting protest. I'm not seeing fireworks being thrown or the videos. I don't see the tear gas. I'm not saying it's good yet. That's not what I'm asking.
Yeah.
But is the temperature down? I mean, we were escalating straight up like a rocket for a while.
Yeah.
And okay,
the temperature has turned down, but people are still very much on edge.
Okay, fair enough. Because that has a lot to do with where this goes from here, right? Is this a remember the winter of last, or is it you're still going on in the spring? That's why I asked. And the other thing was a story out of this strip that it because you do this for a living. Representative Tom Murray was asked to do an interview with the Star Trib with this young lady. Did you read? You're looking like you read this story.
I did read it.
A couple things that hit me was interesting that they did a poll and 8% of them don't trust him anyway. So the fact that he gave her the interview, I thought meant something. But when it got done, and I'm just paraphrasing here, she was stunned when he says, oh, by the way, I recorded this interview. She seemed a little put aback, even though she records a lot of her interviews. If you were his or any other person, politician's ad person, their marketing guy, their person, wouldn't you almost have to today's society say, yeah, tape everything? I felt he was probably right to do it.
He's right to do it. What is wrong is to not tell somebody.
No.
Yeah.
Until afterwards. He didn't tell her, but after, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and journalists, they have to say, like, I am recording this.
Yeah.
But Minnesota law, you don't have to say it, but it does. If you're trying to build trust with somebody genuinely, it's not helpful. But I do appreciate that he took the interview.
And then he did tell her before he left the room he could have always had in his back pocket. But with today's AI and campaigns, it doesn't. I'm really concerned about the audio. Video is bad enough. You look at some of these videos they can do, and it makes you look like you did. Al went in blackface at a party. I never was there, and then they'll show you a video of it. I'm like, what? Audio is really easy that way as well. So the idea back when I was quote unquote misquoted by a paper, that isn't even the worst of it anymore. So I don't know that you don't, as a politician, need to always have the whole thing.
Yeah,
everything you do.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
Just be upfront about it. Like
if
you're, and it's like they're sitting down for coffee at a cafe in their in Greater Minnesota in their hometown, and it's like at the end, like, by the way, I recorded everything. So
I don't disagree. Should have started with that, but I guess I'm looking at the big picture. You would have to almost advise any politician just to have someone recording everything you do.
Yeah. No, we're living in a time where things can be manipulated and fabricated to the nth degree. So you have to have a record.
Yeah. Which is too bad that we're in that spot, but you can see why. If you can't even, that's why I wonder about where ads go. Let's do this next time you're on. Where do ads go? Right now, you can they'll put you in grayscale and they'll get the worst picture of you ever, and you look like the devil himself, but that's normal. But if you can't trust the ads you see anymore, that they're real, do they become worthless?
I mean, they certainly do not increase trust, and then people just start tuning out. So I don't know the answer to that, because, to be clear, also, this is not new. Like, we've had mudraking false political ads in this country for hundreds of years. So it's like,
Yeah, but the difference is I could tell you something, it could be a lie, and you either believe me or you don't. But now you'll put something on TV like Al in blackface.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but you generated, and half the people were saying, I saw it myself. You can't tell me you
Yeah.
didn't see it. I saw
Can't tell
it.
me.
And it's a different level. I mean, yellow
It's true.
journalism back in the day was one thing. This is
Yeah.
off the charts, and I don't know how we get back. I know what I got to do. I got to go. Alysen, I'm
All
going to miss you till you get back on with us, but please
Thank
go
you.
go rock and roll it. I appreciate you being here.
Think of me at the Capitol. All right.
I'll do that. It's Alysen Nesse. I appreciate her being here. More right after this.
Thank you.